What's up? Daniel here with Slow Haste. In this week's video, we're going to expand upon last week's video where I showed you how to use structure and arrangement to develop a song using the Octatrack. For this video, I'm going to show you how I like to develop a second pattern or a B part to a song. And I highly recommend checking out last week's video. I will link to it up here. You can hear all about the process and how I kind of built up the first pattern in that video, but I'm just going to play you the main beat, which I talk about as the part of the song where everything kind of builds up to. So here that is. So that's kind of the climax of the arrangement that we developed in the first pattern. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste this pattern and put it over there. I'm going to assign a different part to this track, and I'm also going to copy the part and paste it to our new part. So now we have part 3 for pattern 3, and I just wanted to make a duplicate because we might change some samples a little bit. We might take it to a bit of a different place, and I just want to have a copy of that pattern, in case we decide to mess around with it. So first and foremost, something that I know that I want to do, I'm going to mute all of my melodic stuff. And now we just have our bass line. The first thing I want to do is actually edit the bass line, and I kind of have a simple melody in my head that I want to play in. But the issue is we have a slight pitch adjustment on this bass sample because for some reason the two sample sets that I used were a bit out of tune, so I adjusted the pitch of the bass, and that means I can't play it in chromatically using the chromatic mode. And you can hear our note is right in between these two notes by just a few cents. And you can see that it's parameter locked here. It says 0 when the key isn't hit, but this is, because this is our first note, our bass note of the progression that we have already. But we're gonna change that up. So what I wanna do is kind of do like a bum, 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 bum type of tune. So here's my first note. I actually might make it a little bit more straight ahead than the rhythm that I hummed. And then the second note here is the first note of our prior pattern. So it's actually a little bit sharp sounding. All right, so we have this now. Cool. Pretty simple little bass melody. And again, would have been cool if I could have entered that chromatically, but such is life, and it only took, an extra couple of minutes. I already kind of had an idea of what tune I wanted going in, so sometimes you just got to do that with the Octatrack. Okay, so I know that this is gonna fit with the harmonics, those guitar harmonics, and let's also send those to the Mercury 7 right over here, just to give some more of that pump. But I kind of want to do something different with this track. I'm actually gonna, I changed the pitch of this to positive 4.4. It sounds a little bit more in tune. It's still not perfect. I wish that you could go in increments of less than 0.2 with the pitch, but it's kind of like a hazy, fuzzy sample anyway, so I think I can get away with it here. Might cause a problem if you're trying to get things super tight sounding, but this has kind of like a loose, flowy, ethereal warble to it, so I'm happy with it. Anyways, let's go back to track 4, and we're gonna hop into the audio editor. And I'm gonna play around with some slices. And we're gonna change things up a bit. I'm gonna re-slice everything. And then I'm going to hit yes, and I'm going to create random locks. Alter all my trigs, and let us mute some stuff so we can kind of hear better what's going on just with this track. I'll take out the cue as well. I'm going to throw in some more trigs here. And I'm also going to randomly put some retrigs on some of these samples, just for fun. Especially ones that occur right before a rest. And then we get some cool stuff like that going on. Very glitchy, but still low, like low in volume. But you get that weird kind of time stretched thing. And again, I think it's just kind of like a cool vibe for this piece. Cool, so that's kind of fun. I'm going to actually cut the filter a little bit. Bring that resonance up. One thing that I know that I want to do is I want to take out half of my hi-hat hits. Because this is, you know what, I feel like that first progression that things build up to is almost more like a chorus in a way. And this is going to be kind of like a verse. It's kind of what I'm thinking. So I like build up to that kind of climax in the beginning and then tone it back down, reel things in for the verse, right? And I have a delay here. And I gotta adjust my time so you can hear it better. Okay. So you still got some movement there, but it's just a little more subtle than on the first pattern. I'm gonna save this part. Save all my parts. It's always a good habit to be in. What I might do for this snare sample, this note is out of tune, so I just interrupted myself. It feels a little too out of tune, doesn't it? Let's bring it down to -0.8. Oh, if I can get there. There we go. Let's take a listen to that. Much better. All right. So I kind of want to take, like I was saying, the main sample for this. Pitch it down a little bit. And take some of the edge off by decreasing the width on the track. But what I also want to do is add a little bit more busyness to this track. And what I'm going to do is, let's see, where would it be a good hit to put this on? All right, so we're going to take this step and we're going to edit it. something like that, drop the volume, and we'll put it on the left side. So it's a little quieter. And then we're going to put a retrig on it. I want it to be a little more like a da-da-da. Okay, and I want to filter that a little bit more. Timing still doesn't sound perfect with the retrig. There we go, that's more like it. All right, so then I'm gonna copy this and I'm just gonna like drop it down in some places and we'll hear what we get. And then I'll take some of these retrigs and just like speed them up a little bit and put it in some expected places and in some unexpected places. And then kind of see what we have. What's this? I want to put one here too, leading into the pickup. Cool. So here's our percussion. And this sample also I feel like provides a lot of percussive granularity, which is cool. Save all my parts again. Okay, so what's next? Let us listen to this main sample. So the feeling of this is going to be a big component of the vibe shift between the verse and the chorus, right? So what do we want to do here? Let me think about it for a sec. I'm going to bring down the volume of this overall track too. Okay, I just adjusted the volume of that little triple snare hit because it was a little too loud. This is what I do when I make songs. This is very real. I go in and I hear something that is bothering me while I'm working on another component, and I just change it. Because if I don't do it in the moment, it'll never happen. Anyways, let's mute everything but our hi-hat and kick and this sample, because this is what we're going to work on. I actually really like this. But I want to make sure whatever, whoa there, make sure whatever I'm doing is going to go with the bass synth. So what I'm going to do first is just remove all of my trigs. Sure, this is incredibly thrilling to watch. There we go. And I'm going to put something down on 1. And we're going to mess around with the start time. Okay, so I've just been scrubbing around the different sample start times, and I found this. So I like that. I like that quite a bit. What I'm going to do is just copy and paste those trigs on step 1 and then step 9. And we're going to listen with the bass. Cool. Let's listen with this too. I think it's too much sending that to the cue. And it would help if I actually unmuted the snare track instead of just sending it to the cue. And again, I'm feeling like my guy here is now sounding a little bit sharp. Okay, so what we have then is this. I want to like double that. And same with this one too. So like a da 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 ba da 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 da. And we're gonna play around with these two spots as well. So that gets weird, but it should get cut off before it reaches step 9. Or by the time it reaches step 9, it'll cut off the... That's cool. That's exactly what I wanted. What if we reverse this one? Ooh. All right, let's listen to that. All right, that's pretty cool. Save my part. Whoa there. That's happened before. I've saved a part in the middle of a playback and there's my bass synth. It like it will tune some of the samples that are pitched to their original pitch until the next trig plays. So let's listen from the beginning. Okay, so just for fun, let's switch between this pattern, our verse, and the next pattern, our chorus. Okay, so that's sounding pretty cool. I definitely still want to do some more fine tuning with that bass patch, kind of tighten it up during the verse a little bit. But this is kind of just a simple exercise that I very frequently do when I'm trying to develop a different part of a song. So you can see that I took different aspects of the drums and kind of quieted them down a bit, made them a little bit more busy for some variance in the parts. I like to have kind of more straightforward drums during a chorus of a song that kind of emphasize the sort of, the tempo and emphasize the drive of the beat going forward. Whereas during the verse, I like to keep things a little bit more complicated. It might seem a bit counterintuitive, but it's just something that I tend to do in my songwriting. and then obviously changing the bass synth progression to something a little bit more straightforward and less melodic. And then playing around with our other two melodic samples to again kind of just make them sit back a little bit more by taking them out of the cue, varying things up a little bit, and then leaving some space for another kind of melody that could either be like a vocal or a synth lead or something. This is a fun exercise, and again, this is all about like not pressuring yourself to do anything. I just kind of had one idea in the beginning with a bass synth melody and showed you in real time what my process is like going through it. And that's the only way to get better at doing stuff like this, is to just keep doing it. Don't be precious about every little beat and every little song inkling that you have. Just go ahead and, you know, save drafts and then make copies of templates and mess around with stuff. And if you don't like it, you can just get rid of it and start from the beginning again with the original template. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, buy me a Pepsi Cola or a beer if you're ever in town. That's all, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.